Francesca Evans with the latest news, sport, events and weather in the Lyme Regis area. More than 60,000 incidents of antisocial behaviour in Dorset have gone unattended by the police since the beginning of 2019. In 2022 alone, 12,480 incidents of antisocial behaviour in Dorset went unattended by a police officer, accounting for 70% of all reports made. The figures were revealed following a Freedom of Information request made to police forces across the country by the Liberal Democrats, who have now accused the government of losing control and called for proper return to community policing. The figures come after increased concerns over antisocial behaviour in Lyme Regis in recent months, which were reiterated at last week's annual town meeting of electors. One of the main topics of discussion at the meeting was antisocial behaviour and drug crime, with residents raising concerns with 2 police officers in attendance. Residents said they often did not report incidents because of a perceived lack of response from the police, but the officers appealed to the public to report all incidents, as this helped them to compile intelligence and more evidence of suspects in drug crime. The annual town meeting of Lyme Regis electors, held at the Woodmead Halls last Friday, was one of the most poorly attended in recent history, with just 3 town councillors and 9 members of the public present, plus the 2 police officers. Residents attending said they were ashamed and disappointed that more town councillors did not attend to listen to their concerns. Councillors were also criticised for their poor behaviour in the council chamber, with infighting not setting a good example for the town. But they were also praised for their time and effort, and council staff were thanked for their hard work. A Lyme Regis town councillor has been automatically removed from office after failing to attend council meetings for 6 months. Tara Webb is no longer a town councillor, and her seat on Lyme Regis Town Council will be advertised. This is in accordance with rules on attendance outlined in the Local Government Act. Tara joined the council in May 2021 following a by-election. Notice of a vacancy will be given by Dorset Council today. An election will be held if 10 or more Lyme Regis electors request one within 14 days of the notice. This means requests for an election must be received by Dorset Council's returning officer by May 22nd. The popularity of Lyme Regis was proved at an auction this month, where a tiny seafront ice cream kiosk was sold for more than £500,000. Molly's Ice Cream Parlour on Marine Parade, which has been run by local businesswoman Gay Dowell and her family for the past 40 years, was sold for £515,000 by Simmons & Sampson at an auction in Wimborne. Auctioneer Graham Barton said there was much interest in the seafront business, with more than 20 viewings and over 100 actual bids, which he put down as a measure of the health and popularity of Lyme Regis as an all-year-round resort. Safety warnings have been issued following a large rockfall on Charmouth Beach on Monday. The fall beneath Stone Barrow was witnessed by a Charmouth Beach attendant, with a volunteer from the National Coast Watch Institution then raising the alarm with the Coast Guards, who carried out safety checks at the site and ensured no one was injured. The rockfall is likely to attract much attention this weekend, when hundreds of keen geologists and paleontologists are expected to arrive in the area for Lyme Regis Fossil Festival. But those visiting Charmouth Beach have been advised to stay away from the cliffs, which remain very unstable. A group of Lyme Regis residents completed a 55-mile sponsored cycle on Saturday in memory of their brother and friend Neil Ellis. Mr. Ellis, aged 54 from Up Lyme, died suddenly in February while out on a cycle ride with friends. Paramedics from Dorset and Somerset Air Ambulance tried their best to save his life, and family and friends expressed their gratitude with a sponsored cycle ride and fundraising appeal in aid of the charity. Neil's brother Alan Ellis and friends Richard and Nicola Spiller and Michael Caesar completed the 55-mile coast-to-coast cycle challenge from Watchet in Somerset to West Bay in memory of Neil, who had planned to ride with them. They were supported along the route and at the finish line by friends and family, including Alan's wife and the Mayor of Lyme Regis, Councillor Michaela Ellis. Crossing the finishing line was an emotional moment for the group, especially as they were greeted by the 2 paramedics who had treated Neil. Through sponsorship and a fundraising disco recently held at the Woodmead Halls in Lyme Regis, the group have raised well over £4,000 for Dorset and Somerset Air Ambulance, the biggest amount raised by any group taking part in the cycling challenge. A major emergency services response attracted much attention in Lyme Regis last Friday evening, with police, paramedics, ambulance crews, coast guards and 2 helicopters seen in the town. The response was actually for 2 incidents which took place at the same time. Ambulance crews were called to a medical emergency on the beach, with the air ambulance landing at Cobb Gate. Sources say that 2 defibrillators were used in the incident, and a local man performed CPR on the casualty before he was airlifted to hospital. At the same time, a police helicopter was seen circling the town for about 2 hours, which was involved in a search for a missing vulnerable person who was later found safe. In a David and Goliath clash, top against bottom, Lyme Regis reserves came within minutes of beating Devon and Exeter Division 3 leaders AFC-X at the day before last weekend. This has been a difficult season for the Seasiders' second string, having changed managers mid-season and only winning 4 games as the current campaign draws to a close. In contrast, AFC-X have enjoyed a brilliant season, winning 14 of their 19 games and with a 2-point lead at the top of the table over Seaton Town, but with a game in hand. Lyme, however, second from bottom, will almost certainly be relegated. Chances were few and far between, and it was in the last minute of the first half when Lyme took the lead somewhat against the run of play when Cam Fowler slotted the ball home from a Steve Beattie cross. It was a different story in the second half when the visitors upped their game and looked dangerous whenever they went forward. But the equaliser did not come until the 67th minute when the usually reliable Gary Knight failed to clear the ball, allowing the ex-attacker to drill it past the advancing keeper Will Meach. The visitors' domination paid dividends in the 83rd minute when they stole what looked to be the winner, but Lyme staged a spirited comeback in the last few minutes with Toby Fowler poking the ball home in a goal-mouth scramble 2 minutes into injury time, following a Rob Fellingham corner, much to the delight of the Lyme crowd. It was a spirited performance by the reserves, with manager Wallace Blackmore having more than one choice for man of the match, but ended up giving it to fullback Stuart Broom, who was his usual dominant self at the back throughout. Lyme firsts were without a game as most of the players were on club secretary Rob Thom's stag weekend in Cardiff last Saturday. This weekend they are away to Crediton United, who sit 1 place below the Seasiders in the Devon and Exeter Premier table. Lyme reserves are also away to Hemyock, leaving the Davy Fort without a game. Up Lyme first team are at home to close Division 4 rivals Culm United, and Up Lyme reserves have completed their fixtures in Perry Street Division 3, finishing in 3rd place, having lost 4-0 to Charge United A in their final game. In Perry Street Division 1, Charmouth drew 2-2 away to Fortin Rangers reserves, but don't have another game until May 4th. They look like finishing in a respectable mid-table position in their first season back in Division 1. Up Lyme and Lyme Regis Cricket Club got their 2023 season off to a flyer with a comfortable victory in a friendly over Crewkerne. New overseas signing Preston Hillis showed what an influence he could be on Up Lyme's quest for Devon League Division C East glory by top scoring 55 and returning the best bowling figures of 3 for 16. Up Lyme will be warming up with another friendly at the King George V playing field on Sunday against Neo Cricket Club before the first league fixture on May 6th at home to Heathcote. The revived Lyme Regis Darts League came to an end last week with finals night at the Roosden Social Club, where the Team 4 play were named league winners. And as one sport comes to an end its season, another begins. The Mayor of Lyme Regis, Councillor Michaela Ellis, bowled the first wood to start the season at the Charlie Mercer Green on Monmouth Beach last weekend. And finally in sport, Up Lyme teenagers Orlando and Enzo Migliari have brought a gold medal home from their first international gymnastics competition. The brothers, who both attend Colleton Grammar School and are members of Honiton Gymnastics Club, took part in the dynamic International Acro Cup in Valencia, Spain, earlier this month, where they faced competition from teams from across the world. After a well-executed, confident and controlled final performance, the brothers were awarded first place and their first international gold medal. Lyme Regis Fossil Festival returns for its 15th year this weekend with a packed programme of guided walks, expert talks, exhibitions, family-friendly activities and street theatre. Lyme Regis Museum is organising this year's festival with support from partner organisations and the Town Council. Events will be based mainly at the museum, along the seafront and on the flat roof area in Lister Gardens. You can find the full programme on the website shown on screen now. Other events this weekend will include live music from Cara Dillon at the Marine Theatre in Lyme Regis tonight, with doors opening at 7 p.m. A coffee morning in aid of the RNLI and air ambulance will be held at the Bethany Chapel from 10:30 a.m. on Saturday morning. and Uplyme Church will host its annual Spring Fair from 12 p.m. And the Nag's Head in Lyme Regis will host its weekly live music night on Saturday from 9 p.m. Expect cloud cover for most of the day today, brightening up in the evening. More sunny intervals are expected throughout Saturday, with light rain showers forecast on Sunday. Temperatures are set to reach highs of 16 degrees. Thanks for watching LymeOnline's video news bulletins. Our website is updated daily with the latest local news, and you can also find regular updates on our Facebook, Twitter and Instagram pages, or subscribe for our free weekly newsletter to get the top headlines sent straight to your inbox. Have a great weekend.